We're live. Morning, are we morning? No, we're afternoon. Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our last Wednesday cooking session for a while. It's a bit sad, Mr. Moore.
It's sad, but in a good way, because obviously we're back at school next week.
So maybe I could be interviewed for a cooking position if there's any room in your department. But no, well done with all of your remote learning. And we're going to finish with a bang. So today we are cooking a curry, which I'll talk about in a little bit more, and we're cooking our first dessert or pudding if you're not posh, which is going to be, Mr. Law.
It's going to be a flour-based tortilla with some different ingredients in there that you have for your favourite puddings all mished together in a frying pan.
Good stuff. And we're in with the curry today. We've got, doesn't really matter what you put in a curry, I guess. So we've got a chicken curry,
yeah,
and we've got a vegetable curry, which is going to be cooked because it's vegan. Vegan and gluten-free, or rice is gluten.
Yes, I think yeah.
Curry's gluten-free anyway. So for Mrs. Braun and Mrs. Lawson, we're hoping they're going to try our curry. So what we need to do, let's just check as our directors have come in whether we're allowed to plough on or not. We're not ploughing on.
We're just waiting for people to get logged in and get their stuff ready.
Right, well, when we're having our awkward moments then. So what you could do is to get ahead of the game, and we need to remember this, Mr. Moore, is we need to have some water boiling for some rice. So we've got our kettles on. I've bought a couple of naan breads or naan breads, whatever you want to call them. So I've got my oven on, so we need to remember to put them in. I presume they take about 10 minutes. So if you're doing the same, that's great. I've bought some poppadoms, which I'm just going to eat because I'm hungry. And then we're ready to go. So you can also, if you're using some vegetables, so Mr. Moore is using a sweet potato, you could get all of that prepped, because otherwise we could roll on to about 2 o'clock. And if I don't, anything like me, I'm absolutely starving. It's my lunch.
My lunch as well.
Right, so I think we're good to go. So now I've got a thing of popcorn in my face. Mr. Moore, film me in for 30 seconds.
Right, I believe, well, the curry isn't my thing, I'm actually following your lead. So I believe we will need our frying pan.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we are going to chop is the onion, is that correct?
That is correct. So what we'll do is if we put our frying pan on, let's get it heated up. And again, we'll just put a bit of oil in the frying pan. Doesn't really matter what oil you're going to use. So a little bit of oil in the frying pan and heat that up. And then, like Mr. Moore said, good base for a curry, as well as our spices and onions. So I'm cooking a curry for about 2 people. So I'm going to use half an onion. You can add more, it's up to you. So we need to peel our onion, and then we just need to chop it up a little bit.
Your eyes water when you chop onion?
No, they don't, no.
No, I can see you get away with it reasonably well.
Used to. Let's get rid of that bit. Okay, so we're going to chop our onion up. Up to you how big it's, small chunks you want. So, well, no injuries in the kitchen.
Oh, potatoes curse.
So I'm going to whack my onion in there. Remember, this hob's always a bit slow to heat up. And I've got a wooden spoon, and we're going to get the onion just frying off in the oil, because we don't want to have raw onion in our curry. That wouldn't be very pleasant. So that's our first thing that we're going to be getting going. Okay. My kettle boil. What I'm going to do before I forget is I'm going to get my pan. Oh, water everywhere. I'm going to get my pan of boiling water going on my other hob. Do the right mess of that. I'll turn that on.
This is for the rice, yeah?
This is for the rice. You might have microwave rice, you might not even have rice, you might have your own ways of making rice. Pressure's on, but hopefully it's going to be a real simple way to cook rice. It's going to work well. We've just got cheap as the long grain rice. You can basmati rice if you want to be a bit posh, a bit more authentic. Or you can just have microwave rice, up to you. But we're going to get our pan of boiling water going on there. And we've got our onions sizzling away. Now, whilst our onions are sizzling away in the oil and our water's boiling for our rice, you want to get everything else prepped. So I've got, I'm going to be adding to my curry, I've got a couple somewhere of breasts of chicken. So I'm going to be chopping that up into sort of bite-sized pieces. And Mr. Moore, your vegetable curry, you have got
Sweet potato, which I have already prepped into small little shapes about that big. I've got a little bit more still to do, so I'm going to continue with that.
right. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to cut up some chicken. The other ingredients that you might have got on my list, though again, it doesn't really matter if you haven't got all of these ingredients. I'm going to put half a chili in my curry. That chili, I'm going to keep the seeds on, because I like a little bit of heat in my curry.
I've taken the seeds out.
Fair dues. So in fact, what I'm going to do, we'll get another chopping board here. So I can hear my onions sizzling away now, this is good news. So I've got my chicken cut up on my other chopping board. I've got my chili, so I'm going to slice that up. Nice thin slices here. So we're going to cook this curry in about 20 to 25 minutes. Normally I cook it for a bit longer. So it's important we don't have too big slices of everything, otherwise they won't cook. So I've got my chili, I've got a couple of groves of garlic. So last time I think we used garlic, Mr. Moore, you were using the garlic crusher. So
I do like it. I don't know why, it's just something about it that just, yeah.
So you can do that. I'm going to go, I'm just going to slice it up, get rid of your skin on your garlic. I can hear my onions going on nicely, that's all good. I wonder how many people are cooking in at home here. I wonder whether we're going to have any alternatives. Last week someone didn't really like our omelette, so they just cooked a bacon sandwich. Fair enough, at least we're cooking.
At least they were on.
Got about 70 live views at the minute.
Good,
So
good,
if you
good.
want to do a little recap, that could be helpful for the later joiners.
We will. I'm just going to cut my garlic up to concentrate without dropping the pimples off before I do the recap. Right, so what we've got a pan of boiling water going on for our rice. We've got a pan here with some onions that are sizzling along there. Excuse me. I've chopped up chicken. Mr. Moore's using sweet potato and some cauliflower. He's got.
Yeah, little florets or cauliflower.
You can whack anything in a curry. And we're just going along. So now my onion's starting to sizzle away nicely. I'm going to turn that down. We're going to put our spices in, Mr. Moore. We want to cook our spices in. So, last night I prepared Mr. Moore a spice box.
Cute little box, that is.
In this spice box, let's see if I can remember what I put in there. We put about half a teaspoon of several different spices. We put some turmeric in it, garam masala, I put a bit of paprika and some cumin, and then a little bit of coriander I put in there as well. So it's a mixture of spices, all Indian spices, quite a lot, but we like a spicy curry. So we're going to put that in with the onions.
All goes in.
Stick them all in. And just start heating through. Make sure you don't burn your spices. So this is going to give your curry a lovely, lovely taste. There we go. Do you want to show that one? A lovely taste and a nice bit of colour as well.
Just drop more oil in, right?
And then once we've cooked the spices through for about 30 seconds, this is a great time to add some of your other ingredients. So I'm going to put my chicken in there. Okay, we're going to give the chicken a bit of colour. It doesn't matter if we don't cook it right through at the moment. It's going to cook in the sauce. Keep that moving around there. So we've got our onion, our spices, our chicken. I'm going to add my chili. We're basically going to chuck everything in at this point. I'm going to add my garlic and chili. I had a little bit of ginger I found in the fridge. So I'm going to chop that up very finely. It's like a one-pot wonder here, so it's all quite simple.
Starting to smell lovely.
It's smelling nice in here. So I put the ginger in there. All these strong flavours. I might just put a bit more oil in where my pan starts to stick. There we go. So we're going to make sure all of these ingredients are coated with all of our lovely spices. Okay, keep stirring it around. So I'll show you on the camera here. So we've got my chicken, garlic, onion, chili, ginger, spices all sizzling away. And Mr. Moore, exactly the same.
You think like cauliflower. It's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah, you can have there's a lot of hungry staff over today, I think. Right, we're going on nicely. I also found, raided the fridge here. I don't know whose it is at school, so sorry teachers, but I've quite strong with your pepper. I found a red pepper, so I may as well whack that in as well. So pepper doesn't take too long to cook, so I'm going to go quite big chunks of pepper. I'm just going to put that in my pan here. I don't know if I've got a big enough pan actually. Here we go. This kitchen smells absolutely wonderful. Okay, and we're going to stir that around. Get the chicken cooking, really important. Just go down a touch there, and we're looking good. So, is yours on quite a high heat there, Mr. Morgan, a bit of colour?
Yeah. So I think it's going
a
a little bit.
That's good.
Right, so I'll do a little recap. So we've got onion frying off in oil, and then we added our spices, whatever Indian spices you've got. I think I said I had cumin, garam masala, paprika, coriander, can't remember what else I said.
Ginger, a little bit of
I think
ginger.
a bit of ginger, garlic and chilli in there. Put the chicken in there, or the vegetables, you go vegetarian, and just frying off all those spices so we haven't got raw spices. So that's looking good in here. And
It's a pity you can't smell over YouTube because it does smell delicious in here. Maybe you can comment how's it smelling in your kitchen.
yeah, let's hear some comments. How's it smelling? It's smelling good. Right, so we've got that going on. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't cook all the chicken through right now because it will cook in the sauce in a minute or so. I've got my water going on there. I'm just going to add a bit more water actually in my pan. Your pan's not boiling this
No, I've just turned it up a little bit.
I think everyone's too busy cooking to comment today, folks.
Good, it's happening thick and fast. Okay. Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt in my water for the rice. You don't have to. I saw some salt this morning.
I will.
Right. So a little bit of salt in there. And then, so Mr. Moore, remind me how long do you think your dessert will take?
Oh, mine's really quick. The preparation is the key, and it will probably just take a couple of minutes. Basically, going to fry this tortilla on both sides. I'll demonstrate it in a moment, but it will not take that long. It's quick, simple, very effective. I'm sure many of you have done this before, but we'll give it a go.
Right, so the sauce to cook through and the rice is going to take about the same amount of time. So what we'll do is let's put the rice on first. So I've just got my rice, I put it in a bowl, and I'm going to put it straight into my boiling water. I need a clock, so 1:45, so probably by about 1 o'clock it'll be ready, but I'm just going to tip that straight in there and just forget about it. And I'll use that bowl for a serving bowl later, that's fine, it doesn't have rice in it. So back to our curry. So into this curry, I'm going to put half a tin of tinned tomatoes, give it a bit more flavour and a bit of different texture as well. So I'm going to put the tomatoes in there.
I've got half a cup.
There we go. Get rid of that. Give it a stir, sizzle it away. And then the final ingredient for this curry is we're going to put a tin of coconut milk in. So, little tip here. I would give your coconut milk a little stir first, because sometimes you have like a big thick bit at the bottom and it's really runny at the top. So I'm going to stick this all in, I think. I'm going to go for the whole tin of coconut milk. So I'm just going to stick it in there. I really wish I had a bigger pan, sorry. Oh my goodness me. We're going to make a mess here. So I'm not going to show my pan to you, because I'm going to spill, but I wonder whether Mrs. Braun, could you bring... So at the moment, we've got, it looks a bit pale at the moment, we've got my curry there, and we've got Mr. Moore's. We're just going to stir around a bit more, and then all those flavours of the turmeric will start to make the sauce go a little bit more curry-like, so a bit more yellow. That will come in a moment. And basically, all you need to do there is just get it simmering, so you don't want it really bubbling, just simmering a little bit so you can see a few bubbles, and just leave that now for about 15-20 minutes. It's up to you how long you can cook it for longer if you want, but that will make sure that the chicken's cooked through, and then you've got a nice thick sauce. So the sauce is a bit runny at the moment, but when we cook it, it will thicken up, and you've got your rice going on. So I think we're going to have a recap, Mr. Moore. It's gone quick, isn't it?
We've done pretty well there, I think.
Right, so recap. Fried off some chopped up onions in a pan. Fried your onions for about 5 minutes. If you had more time, I'll do it at a lower heat for longer. After we fried the onions off for a bit, we added all of our Indian spices. And we fried those spices off. It's really important to cook those spices through for a bit. We then added all the rest of our ingredients, which I had chili, garlic, ginger. I had some chicken. I had, hopefully not Mr. Redding's pepper. Mr. Moore had the sweet potato and the cauliflower. And we chucked it all in and we browned it off a tiny bit. And then we added the tinned tomatoes and the coconut milk. And it's now coming to a sort of simmer. And we put our rice on to boil and we're fingers crossed for some nice rice. And that is how you cook curry. So we're going to have to wait now 15 minutes. So should we have a little change around, wash down some surfaces and stuff?
I think we'll have a little tidy up. You can do the same while your curry is just simmering away. My rice is doing reasonably well.
Right, so bear with. We'll be back in about a minute whilst we have a little tidy up.
It's important not to use the same chopping board and chopped any raw meat on, isn't it?
It is very important. So that was. I'm going to get rid of those chopping boards because I can't remember which.
Small one was your chicken, I think.
I've got another one that you've given me. So I've used that knife. I haven't used that knife. Whack that in there. Whack that in there. Don't forget the small little hot spices. So I can see Mr. Moore's is bubbling along nicely. Mine just needs heating up a little bit, and the colour now is sort of starting to come. We're getting there. Just need to thicken it up, but that will come. That will come with a bit of heat. Do we need oil, anyone?
We will. Just a little bit of oil for your tortilla.
A little clean down there. Naan breads, Mr. Moore.
Oh yes.
Right. Let's not forget about them.
Does Mrs. Law say naan or nan?
I said nan.
Mr. Moore, I'm feeling this oven isn't on. You're right, Mum?
It's on now.
Do you want to whack it up really high?
Yeah.
And then just put them straight on the shelf. That'd be fine. Not that, don't forget about them. Right, so this is lunch. Good stuff. Right, okay, so I reckon you want to turn yours down a tiny bit.
Got a bit of a comment for you.
Yeah, go on.
The Owen family, they just want to tell you they are cooking a curry, but they're having curry for dinner and lunch today, so it's slightly different than yours, but they're really looking forward to it. Somebody else is making a Japanese version of a curry.
Wow.
And most people seem like they're very hungry, like you are, Mr.
I'm very
Jeffrey.
hungry. It's going to be a late lunch. Be interesting if we found out what people were putting in their curry, if anyone's doing anything different.
Sure.
And you could just use, like sometimes in the Jeffrey household, if we had a roast dinner on the Sunday and we had some chicken left over, cooked, we'd just put the chicken in like cooked already and just reheat it. That's fine.
Yeah, in the comments, you can share what other ingredients you've included in there, or if you want to send some pictures through later, of course, we love to see those.
Who won the geography quiz?
Well, we don't know. There were a lot of 18, 19s out of 20, and I do know Mrs. Campbell-Todd did get 20 out of 20, so that's good. The scores are being emailed to Mr. Miller, so we'll have a grand reveal of that.
Happy days.
Ellie Fancy says it's going very well at her house. I wonder what the mess level is like today.
Right, so shall we crack on prepping yours? Well, I think this rice isn't going to take quite as long as was advertised on the packet. Just looking at it, I'll just have a look.
No, it's not, is it? It's going to be a bit quicker.
Yeah, that's only going to be a few minutes more, but that's fine. We'll just keep it going. Right, okay, so Mr. Moore, let's crack on then.
We'll crack on with prepping the dessert. We're not going to cook it at this stage, we're just going to prep it. Now, some of you may have seen this before, but you will need a flour tortilla. Okay?
I have, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, you should have a clean knife. Now, what we're going to do, maths involved in this as well. I'm going to actually cut a line from the center to the outside edge. Now, that's given a certain name on a circle. If you'd like to shout out and tell me what it is, from the center to the outside, just one line.
Radius!
Oh, you've spelled my radius. It is the radius. So we're going to cut a line straight down. Okay? Now, again, I'm going to try and show that there. Now, if you imagine your clock face, your pizza, in 4 quadrants, what you are going to do with your toppings that you've got is you're going to spread one in each quadrant. Now, I did say that you should have a variety of desserts. It could be fruit, it could be honey, it could be jam, chocolate spread, even soft cheese. It's going to be up to you. One thing I would recommend is if you've got anything loose other than spread, like banana, we've got some banana there, you put it in one of the top two quadrants. So this is where my slit is. So I'm going to start there with a spread. I'm probably then going to go banana, then maybe jam, and then finish maybe with cream cheese. Okay? So, if we'd like to try and prep that. How's your curry going?
Curry's good. Rice is nearly there. It's just Asda's done a bad job of telling you how many minutes that rice will take.
Some more comments coming through. We've got Sam Sanders is making a prawn Thai curry. Sounds delicious.
Look at that.
Toby Cushing's also making a prawn curry. That seems to be a theme today.
My thing with prawns, they only take a few minutes.
Yeah, don't let your prawns overcook is the
Yeah.
top tip from Mr. Jeffrey. And we've got lots of comments about how nice it smells.
That smell good. Right, so am I just freestyling this?
I've given you a whole lot of ingredients there. You should have chocolate spread in a little cup.
What was your top tip about if I'm doing banana? To put it in which quadrant?
One of the top two.
Right, okay.
Like it tends to sort of spill out.
So nice and thinly sliced.
Thinly sliced with banana, yeah. My daughters and I, we actually used pomegranate the other day, and that was a bit of a disaster because they all fell out. But, you know, we gave it a go. So you can do this with anything.
I find pomegranate to be an overrated food, Mr. Moss. Never really seen the benefits of it. Right, get rid of that. Okay, so I've got banana in the top one, and then I must admit, Mr. Moore, I was so worried about my rice, I wasn't really listening to you. It's a bit rude. So, chocolate spread, any particular one?
Yours is in the
Any
which way?
Miss Moore, can you bring that over and
Yeah,
show
I-
your, because yours is so neatly organized. So
What's yours now?
Jam in my last one.
So just to recap, while the curry is cooking away, they're working on their tortilla dessert.
Now, I don't really want to tip this up too much because my bananas may get lost, but there's my 4 quadrants, and my radius, my slice is down that section there. Right? Funny word, radius, isn't it? That's, I think it's Latin origin, isn't it?
Greek. So, yeah, struggling to multitask here. Right, cream cheese in the top one. What I'm going to do, so just check your rice, people at home, because mine does not look as neat as yours. We're not too good.
Shall we have a comparison? Let's have a
I
look.
think that says a lot about our personality.
Okay, so just everybody can have a vote for their favorite. This is Mr.
Rustic.
Jeffrey's rustic looking dessert. It's not too bad. You have muddled up some of the ingredients.
Okay, so what you then have to do with it, I'm going to start with my cream cheese. I'm then going to fold this onto the chocolate spread, fold that onto the banana, and then the banana onto the jam to form just a quarter looking
I'll
tortilla.
hold it over top.
Okay,
Right, we'll do that and then I'll talk rice.
so that one goes onto there. That one onto there.
No.
So this is
Oh,
right.
Mr. Jeffries is in a muddle already.
Tell me, Mr. Moore.
Up to the top, over onto your cream cheese.
That one's that one.
Yeah, that one to that one.
That one's that one.
That's it. Now he's getting it. And then finally onto your jam.
I needed to
Okay.
differentiate. Oh, look at that.
And I'm going to leave that now. That is then going to go into the frying pan later. Ready.
Right, so should we get back to the curry?
Let's get back to the curry.
Now, my sauce, your sauce looks better. My sauce is still a bit runny, and I think that's because I've got cheap coconut milk. It's not a problem, but my rice, I've just tested my rice. I've just tasted it, so with this fork, just run a fork through, because that'd be good so it doesn't get stuck. So,
Have you drained that?
no. It tastes nice, by the way. So, my rice is done. I just think yours probably is as well.
Far off.
So
what I'm going to do...
We've got some good other ingredients. We've got broccoli in a curry, delicious.
Nice.
That's from Izzy Harris. And Mrs. Burbage's daughter, Charlotte, said everything looks amazing and that she's a bit sad. Her mum is a bit sad. Mrs. Burbage is a bit sad. She's working from home today because she would have liked to have come and been a taste tester.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
So what I'm going to do with my rice is I've got a sieve somewhere, and then I'm just going to pass this rice. I'm just going to put it through the sieve. I'm going to do it just So I'm going to do it over here.
Want me to show? I can show.
Yeah, just thinking what I'm doing here. Yeah, so do you want to come over here? So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to chuck the rice in there.
To drain it.
To drain it off. Probably could have done with a slightly bigger one, because you don't want wet rice. Just like that. And then I'll, what am I doing? Yeah, I'll just leave it like that for a bit. Because it's going to rest for a while, some of the little water will evaporate. So we've got maths and science here, Mr. Moore. So that's fine. I'm going to stick it back in my pan. That is quite nice rice, actually. And then I'm just going to leave that over here. If I had a lid, I would probably
Just put a plate on it.
I'll put a plate on it. I'll just keep that. I'm not going to put it on the hob because it will burn and stick, so I'm going to just leave it there. Oh no, oh yeah, top man. Thank you, Mr. Moore. I'll put the plate back. So I'm just going to leave that rice there. And then what I'm going to do, just so we don't food poison anybody, is I'm going to get a knife that hasn't been used for raw chicken. So this will do, even though it's got a bit of cream cheese on it. It's not going to harm anyone. I'm just going to get a bit of chicken in my curry. I'm just going to cut into it. Do you want to show this on the screen as well?
Yeah.
So,
sorry.
If you see, I've cut my chicken. It's cooked all the way through. So that's really important. So we've got no pink chicken there. So I've just checked mine. Mr. Moore, I guess the thing to check here is probably to try a bit of your sweet potato and to check that it's not rock hard.
Well, sweet potato is cooking along nicely. It's the cauliflower that I'm a little concerned about. And Mrs. Law may be able to enlighten us a little bit, because I know you
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, I think if it's got a bit of bite, then
That's fine.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
don't worry. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, so I think we're nearly ready to go. Mine could probably do with about 2 more minutes just to thicken up. But it's getting there. You could add something like a bit of corn flour.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, just to thicken it up.
Have you got any corn flour? I could have a look.
The Fisher family are putting some sausage in. Is there protein in their curry? That's nice. Why not? Exactly. Mr. Daniel just sort of put his face to the door to see if lunch was ready yet. He's been out walking on the field with the students this morning, but I said no, he's going to have to wait a little bit.
That's all right. We could have a more runny curry. So if I was at home here, I'd be cooking it for a couple more minutes, but because yours has got more stuff in it, yours doesn't look quite so runny, does it? Or is there any merit, Mr. Moore, on cooking the pudding, or does it have to be hot? We're not going to eat the pudding for a while anyway, so should we do that? And then people can do that afterwards. We show them what to do.
Show them what to do, because they might be taking a while.
Okay, I'm going to turn my rice off. I'm going to sort my rice up first, and then I'll do the...
Yeah, so we can always wrap it up in foil on our pudding and keep it warm.
Yes.
Yeah, we must have some foil. Naan breads, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, how long did they take?
10 minutes, probably.
Don't know. It's all happening here. Oh, the rice is a success.
Lots of people are working.
I can't see anything.
Really excited about the curry.
I'm starving. I'm cycled to work
Let's
now.
have another popcorn. Slide you over.
How about breads?
Yeah, they're done.
Right, okay. So you've sorted your rice. So we're going to fry off the main course, aren't we? No, the pudding. Sorry, we're going to have that.
Okay.
It's a good lesson for everyone. Never cook when you're starving, because you'll not wait until it's done. You'll rush. You get in a fluster when you're folding your pudding.
You should have a small frying pan.
I've got some frying pan.
Okay, so Mr. Moore and Mr. Jeffrey are just gonna, because we need to cook down the curry a little bit more, they're gonna show you how to cook up your dessert. You may not need to do this yet, but
a little bit of oil in there.
you can get ready.
You can always pause and come back, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
So
Lots of people like to have their dessert before their main, so that's fine. It's exciting when that happens.
Why not, hey?
Yes. Last live cooking for a while, so have your dessert.
I need to have a little lie down. Right, well, for them, I've got my heat on.
Heat on. You should have a spatula there ready.
I do.
Yes, and all we are going to do, not too high heat, we're just going to brown this off, basically. All right, so you keep flipping it. You may find some of your ingredients will be popping out, and
I think that's what probably happened to me.
That's why we try and sandwich the loose ingredients inside rather than as one of the end quadrants.
Word of the day.
We've had a request for a recap on folding of the pudding. I don't know if you could do another one.
Can I do another one?
Yeah.
I think I've got the one here.
How many bowls do you think you're going to need for your curry? How many portions have you got there?
3.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Just to
if you
recap the
take
dessert.
your tortilla, you're going to cut a radius from the center going down. Okay. If you can then imagine, you have then 4 quadrants in your circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use whatever toppings you like to place in each quadrant. Recommending that anything loose like banana or strawberries or whatever you're putting in there, you put them in one of the top 2. Then what you will need to do, once you've got them in all 4, you simply fold that one onto there, that one onto there, and then finally that one onto there. And then it goes into the frying pan. Right, on both sides. Now,
Sizzling away with mine, Mr. Moore. Shall I turn it?
you can turn it, you can keep turning it. There we go.
Oh, yes. Happy with that. And then are we just going to, what are we going to do? Are we going to wrap it up in a bit of foil?
We do have foil, that is something we do have. So we can pop it in this oven, I'll turn it down and do we take the number down?
Yeah, take them out. We've got used a lot of equipment here. If I get another chopping board out, I'll tell you what, I can just use this because this has had nothing other than this doesn't have any raw. Alright, so if I hand them over to you, my washed hands for social distance, you whack them on there, and then I'll have them back. Lovely, made them earlier. I'm get another knife out. Just cut them up. So everybody's having our curry has got a little bit. I think my pudding is nearly ready.
I've just turned mine over again. I just want the original side just to be a little bit crispier. I'll give you a little plate there as well.
Lovely. There. Oh, my curry's looking the bee's knees now. I'm going to turn my curry off the heat now.
Oh yes, this is looking good now. Yeah.
Have you ever made one of those savory, Mr. Moore? Those little wraps like that, like a
Can't say I
case.
have.
You could. It's almost like a quesadilla but folded. This is a good. I like this idea.
Washing up, building up again, Mrs. Law.
Lucky for you.
Right, okay.
So then finally, just to make it look a little bit more, then you can take a little bit of icing sugar, just with a spoon. You don't need much, and a sieve.
Now I can't remember which sieve I used for the rock.
That one.
I'm not going to take a risk. I'm going to not sieve my icing sugar.
Okay. I'm
Just
just going
sprinkle it on.
just a little bit of a dust. Maybe too much on that one, but
Is there such a thing as too much icing
there
sugar?
we go. Look at that. Now you can chop it in half that way. You should let it cool a little bit, and then you should be able to pick it up and eat it. Fill in that, knife and fork.
Or one bite.
Right, lovely. There we go. Mine's not quite as
Glamorous.
flash as Mr. Moore's.
Pretty good.
It's
Looks
looking
great.
good. So I'm going to wrap that up and have that.
I'll turn this up down. You just put it in there and warm.
So some people are using some different fillings in their dessert: raspberry, bananas, Biscoff. I don't
Oh,
actually know.
Biscoff's a good
What is
one.
it? I don't know what that is.
Biscoff is, the type of biscuit you get.
Yeah.
It's that as a spread, basically.
Mr. Moore, you haven't heard my porridge stories, but I have that in the porridge. Oh,
Is that good?
You shouldn't be hungry then.
game changer. Not every day. Right, I know Mrs. Thomas likes hearing about my porridge stories. So, serving bowls. I've put 3 serving bowls over there for you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
And we've got 3 over here. Let's get them where the camera is. I've turned all my hobs off now. I've got a spoon here. So let's get back to my rice, which is still looking excellent. So we're going to have a nice big heaped tablespoon of rice in each bowl. Okay, like so. And then
I recognise these bowls. I donated them from my house many years ago.
Which one's nice pasta bowl?
Yeah, the pasta bowls.
And then, look at that. So if you had a bit of fresh coriander. So here we go. So I've got some rice, bit of naan bread, curry, all over there. So that's my chicken curry. I've just done one small.
He's so hungry.
I'm going to
I
tuck
should
in.
have just done one, shouldn't I?
So
Yeah, leave the rice. That's fine. I can go.
let's have a little
Just
try.
do
It's
your
going to be
own.
hot. I know that.
How's it, Mr. Jeffrey? Hot.
It's hot, but it's absolutely lovely. I'm really looking forward to my lunch. I might get a little separate bowl and try the. Well, that was really hot. Not as in the
Temperature.
chili, as in the
Temperature
the
hot.
temperature. Woo, hang
So
on.
a good lesson, even when you're really hungry, you need to wait to eat. Especially when there's still a lot of steam coming off there, Mr. Jeffrey.
Right, and then hang on, do a bit little naan on the side there. Look at this. I hope you hadn't made so much mess.
There we go. There's the vegetable one.
Happy days. So, any staff that are out there, if you've washed your hands, you keep your distance, so you mask up. There's going to be, I think, at least four bowls of curry going spare, and some naan bread. But there we go. That was the final cooking lesson. 2:15 is your next slot, which is
Creative writing
creating writing, Mrs. Alloway.
with Mrs. Alloway, and I think Mrs. Noakes and
Noakes
some
is
of
in
her
there, I
year
think.
fives as well. And you can wear your special writing hat to inspire you, bring a teddy bear, and some things to write on.
Fantastic. So
Google
next time we
Meet.
see you will be next week in real life.
Real life.
Please watch the assembly video that we're going to send out for parents and for students, just talking about how we're going to keep you safe and get you learning again and make sure it's a great experience. And please, I know it's sometimes difficult when you're having to come for a test and then go back again, but that's what we think is best for your students and keeping them safe and getting them all coming back on the same days. And please help us out by buying into the whole testing. I think it's really important. But it's been really enjoyable, these cooking lessons.
No, I'm going to miss it.
I'm not going to miss it. So enjoy your lunch and thank you for your support and see you next week. Goodbye.
Stay safe.
Right.